Good afternoon. Welcome. I have been working on these little transparency slides because I needed some ephemera to put in my journal that I've been working on here for the Secret Spooky Society. And after I'd finished them, I meant to be doing something completely different than what I actually ended up doing. I ended up making these spooky flowers quite by accident, absolutely and utterly by accident, but I do believe they are really rather pretty. So it's an altered file folder. It's not finished yet. I put one of those on there actually. It's not finished yet, but I need some bits and the reason it's not finished is I need some bits and pieces to add extra decoration. So I was messing around with some scraps that I had on my table after making the transparencies, and these are what I came up with. There's that one, this one, and this one has got some little string of not mother of pearl, shell beads, and this one. So I thought I'll make a couple more. Well, I'm going to make a lot more, but I thought I'd make a couple more on video. You will get a full flip through of that journal when it is finished, hopefully this week. I saw that. I love the sunshine. I thought that would go in my spooky journal, but we need to take love the sunshine. I was thinking of the vampires. Made me giggle. So yeah, so we're going to make some more of these. I'm going to have a big pile of them. So I went crazy cutting out flowers. I've cut some. These were a bit more difficult to cut out. These were out of some of the mixed media paper I made. This one smelled lovely when I was cutting it because I had put fennel in that mixed media. This tissue, I have used my wax, some of my wax papers. I can put links, well I will do, below to how I made these wax papers. It was a very popular video, that one, Waxing Lyrical. This is what started me with the flowers. This was, if you saw my video yesterday with the transparencies, the piece of paper that parchment paper I was working on, I'd started to just cut little flowers out of it. And this was the sort of what was left over of actually doing the crafting. So they turned out pretty. I've done some on music paper. I've done some on this tissue paper. Thought the purple goes with the theme. And then I had this really fine, I think it's from a florist. So it's like, I don't know, it's a little bit sort of waxy feel to it. So I had some of that. So I raided the scraps and this is what I came up with. So let's have a look. So first of all, I cut my flowers. So I used, just say something like, this is in my scraps. I made it, I'm going to make it a bit small because I need some smaller flowers. So I literally, I'm not too precise because although flowers are absolutely beautiful and nature is wonderful, they're never actually perfect in shape, are they? So you get a square or as near to it, fold it into one triangle, fold it into a second triangle. It's important now to keep your creases in line. You can always do that with the good old bone fold if you want to do. Then I folded that one out there. The reason I'm folding it like this and not just doubling it over is because you actually do get a more precise petal. So I did that. Get the scissors and just cut round or pointed or whatever shape you want. When you undo them, there's your flower shape. I did it with that. This was the paper that I'd used as background paper. I'd put a few more stamps of Versamark on just for some added interest. So if you just get your circle. I'm actually going to make a smaller one because it's smaller ones I think I'm going to be needing. Just get your square. You can just keep cutting and cutting and carving and keep going and going and going and going. So you're left with the tiniest piece of paper. But you can't cut anymore. Fold it again. Fold them outwards. And cut. So I went all through my, do this one a bit more pointed. I went all through my scraps and things and into some of my mixed media papers I've previously made. There we go. I use tissue. So I always collect tissue, you know, from the florist, and you get your flowers delivered. Now this one, because it's tissue, you can sort of bulk make. So if we do that, just cut along there. So you're literally just making your squares. So as I cut this square off, I've obviously got more there to make smaller squares with and smaller pieces. Just 2 pieces together. I'm going rogue, doing 2 pieces together. Tissue does fold really, really easily. There and there. And then we're going to cut out my shape. If you want to do, you could cut around a circular shape, you know, the lid or something, you know, like that on there to get your circular shape if you'd prefer to do that. And there's some silver, quite opaque, translucent, I should say, gold ones. And then I have this fabric as well in my Halloween supplies. I use exactly the same technique, and I cut those little ones out of that as well. I think I've used that in one of these. You can just see it tucked under. Right, so first of all, I cut my flowers, and I have got lots, my petals I mean. So then I would pick a background. So let's go for one of these. Now, some of them I decided I wanted to make look grungier. So I have here this charcoal that's, I bought it on eBay. It'll last me forever. It's like the burnt wood charcoals. I do have these charcoals as well, the Derwent charcoals. I do have a Stabilo, but I like this because I can just sort of do that with it, just to grunge it up a little bit more. You could ink all the edges. I got my ink out. I got my sooty ink out, but I thought it's going to take ages to go around every single petal, so that's why I'm doing the charcoal. Quick spray of hairspray just to seal it there. There's quite a bit of hairspray on there, but it'll dry quickly. It'll dry. Then pick your next layer in. I think I might go with one of those. Now, nothing really sticks to parchment paper, so there's not a lot of point, unless I want to start embossing and things, there's not a lot of point putting things on. So I'll put that there. I will add, oh, I should have put this one. So I just then started stacking the flowers up as I like them. Let's do a music paper. So these are great grungy flowers. They're great, but I'm trying to get this Halloween sort of feeling with them. I've got here, and I put my bone folder in it, some decor art. This is called Georgia Clay. It's very sort of pumpkin-y coloured. My husband just popped his head in, so he's off to the supermarket again. every time I do a video of things after the supermarket, I just get another flower just to dab some of that off. Oh, I was trying not to get it on my fingernails today. I'm going out this evening for dinner with my mum, my hubby and my mum. So I've been trying to keep my hands nice and clean. Yeah, should I have worn gloves? Perhaps, but, you know, I hate wearing gloves. Let's put that one in there. Then I can perhaps go for one of these. Could always pop a purple behind there. Oh, I like that one. And then the first one, this one, I just pop some fibres on. Let's just do that one. Got some black fibres. I have a good fibre stash going. Except it's still packed away as I'm moving rooms. So let's just pop a bit of glue on there so we keep it where we want it to be. Well, so we keep the fibres where we want them to be, which is there. Don't they make a difference when you pop fibres or lace or something on? So it all comes apart as it sticks to my fingers. Right, put it all back together. This is where you can do sort of your tutting up and rearrange, you know, so all your petals are showing through and what have you. There we go. And then I have here some vintage buttons from my vintage button jar. You see, those were the dangles of buttons. I'm going to put one of those in. Oh, do I put that one in? I'm going to put this in. So here on my ancient tin that I bought the other week that had mother of pearl buttons in, it's a really old tin with a little pin cushion on the top. So I've got my needle threaded. I thread my needle for miles and miles and miles because I keep rethreading it. Right, so I've put that in the middle. You could always glue them down if you don't want to stitch. You do not have to stitch. And then I'm just going to go in. You see my miles of thread now. In. Let's hold that down. I've left some tail dangling on the actual button. Whoop. Come up. Just sort of feel your way. There it is. Feel your way. And stitch it down, and that will hold all your petals together too. And of course, when you glue it into your journal or onto your pocket or onto your tag, wherever you're going to fasten it, it will glue it. It will glue a little bit. Add some strength to that at the back is what I'm trying to say. Where you've stitched it. You can always put a bit of glue on now if you want to, but as I'll be gluing them in, I don't see the point. Every other one I've done, I've just sort of seemed to have come up in exactly the right place. So because I'm on screen now, am I coming up in the right place? No. So I'll go through there 4 or 5 times. I get my scissors and I just cut that off, leaving threads dangling, and there we go, that's another one. I think they're so cool. Right, I'll use one of my mixed media papers now. So this is, these were really hard to fold, you know, to get the, smells divine, to get the folds. So I sort of had to just shape them a little bit myself, but I still think it looks good. I'm going to get my charcoal and just rub over that. So it's really good. I enjoyed making the mixed media papers, and it's really good just to sort of have a little stock on them, you know, to call for when you need them. You see the hairspray that's dried on that back one there, dries really quickly. Let's do some of these. So I'm going to use that one. I'm going to make a small, I'm going to use some of that. Should I put green behind it? Yeah, that's nice. And a little orange. Just cut that, it's a bit pointed there. I did use some of the, was it the ink? Let me just have a see. I did use some of the ink on this. Sorry, I keep banging my. And I did like the effect. Because what I did, I just dried it. Let me just dry. I like this one because it did just sort of crinkle up a little bit as well. Just stab some of that off. I like the effect the ink gives on there. Put that. Should put that on there. I think is better. Oh yes. And sorry, I think I've just knocked you right off balance there. Let's put myself back. I'm getting too excited with all my bits and bobs. Let's put some. Oh, I've got a little music paper there, which I will just get some of that orange. I'm actually using the black brush here to dip in the orange, then I get some orange and black on those petals. I hope the camera hasn't been off handle for like ages, because I get super excited waving my arms around and picking things up. Right, I'm going to put some lace or something in here. Let's have a look what I've got. Oh, that's a velvet ruffle. No, that's too big. Yep, and let's pick a little button. We'll pick a grey. Oh, no, I don't think we will pick a grey one. We will pick a white one. And again, we will get the needle. Do you know, I think we need one behind that. Looking at it. Oh, yeah. Put another of those orange in there. That looks good. Centralise it. A lot of this is just sort of by the eye, so it's good having lots of bits and pieces ready to be able to just pick on. So what I did, I cut the first ones out of the this, and then I sort of went around my craft room having a look at what would go with that. There we go, got it. I think these are going to look fab in that little journal. I can't wait to put them in. I've got to work tomorrow, work into the office. Tuesday, I should be crafting Tuesday and doing my washing, and should be ironing Tuesday. Wednesday, Mum's coming over and we're going to do some work on the our lace journals. And all my life's like planned away. Thursday, I'm at the hospital Thursday. Some tests. Remember my tummy at Christmas? I still am having problems with my tummy. So I've all the blood tests and everything. So I knew and other tests. So I know there's nothing sinister there. But I have to go to the hospital to see the consultant, who I'm sure is going to order the lovely cameras, you know, down and up, to have a look at what's going on. My mum was diagnosed with celiac when she was about my age, so whether it's going to be that. There's another. How different. I'm using virtually the same selection of material. Well, I am using, not virtually, I am using the same selection of materials I've got available, but they are all coming out different. This is that one. Right, let's do one. I'll just do one more. I'll do it with this one. So I'm going to put some black on here. Some of that black drawing ink. I love the paper clips and the safety pins and the button in the petals. So you know what I'm going to be doing all afternoon? I actually might have to just put these to one side to do the project I'm supposed to be doing. But these are so much fun and so relaxing. Right, that's that. We will put let's put a big one behind. One of these. Friday, I'll just be doing whatever I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing Friday. Don't know what I'm doing next weekend. But I know what I'm doing Monday to Thursday. Hairspray. That. We need a colour in between, I think. Let's have a look. These are small. We'll put that one on there. Got a purple. Let's just put a purple there. Just to peep out, just to add a bit of a colour element. Ooh, I might use one of the gold ones. I want them to show. Let's put a gold there too. Oh yes, very nice. Right, then, yeah, love that one. So I am going to put some of this in the middle of this one. Some fibres. And I'm going to stitch, let's look for a button. One of these in the middle. Make sure that's all lined up how you want it. Then just go for it. You can make the flowers a lot smaller if you want to do it. Just depends, doesn't it, on the project that you've got in hand. And as I usually have a billion projects in hand at any one time, I will use these. What I've done, because of my new craft room, at the end of the table here on the left, whatever project I am currently working on is there all the time. Because if I put it away, I will get out a different project, because that is how I am. When I used to be nursing, we were all had these team types and all that sort of thing done, management, and I am not. My weakest trait is being a completer finisher. That's my weakest trait. That's because my mind is just whirling on to other things. So I am not going to let myself take anything else off that pile I've got behind me. I've got a trolley full of projects, you know, them art trolleys from Hobbycraft. of projects, but I'm not going to permit myself to take anything off it until this one has gone off this desk. There we go. So the things I'm making are for in it. There we go, that's another one. Just get them all together. Fabulous, what do you think? Let me stand up and have a look through. I'll zoom in a little bit as well, then you can have a look. So I have really enjoyed making these, and I'm actually going to really enjoy carrying on making them. So I'm going to use up everything I've cut out. So thank you for watching. I'm Sharon. This is Be Divine Vintage. Together we've been making sort of grungy flowers for Halloween. Don't they sound lovely in actually different pages? Flowers for Halloween. Thank you so much, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.